You know, the more I think about it, the more it gets me frustrated and upset. I feel like everybody is fundraising for their cause. Look at Bibi Netanyahu, and he's basically just pushing for his agenda to beef up the army and to do what he has to do. And he's warning Hamas, but if you read between the lines, he's warning the Israelis at the same time that this is not going to be easy. We see the anti-Semitism already leaking over into America and other countries. You look at Eli Beer, the head of Hatzalah in Israel, and he's fundraising for his cause to help people send money in so that they can continue what they need to do. But if you look around, you see everybody's just fundraising. That's all it is. The politicians and the people who save lives, everybody. And I have a fundraise of my own. I have a big gripe. It seems like this is not the right time to say it. I think this is exactly the right time to say it. This baseless hatred. You want to say it's not baseless hatred? Well, it's certainly not love. It's certainly not kindness. There is a disease in families. I personally know it very, very well firsthand. Alienation. We're talking about perhaps from children, perhaps from siblings. Any part of the family is not acceptable. And this is a godly war. And when you have a godly war, you need to look into all the aspects, all the reasons. The same way I said from the beginning, I said something bad is going to happen. Anybody who's spoken to me knows I said this. I didn't want it to be true, but I said, if you can look at a country that's fighting within, if you don't have peace from within, you're not protected from without. Some kind of famous line like that. And look how many people are running. You know, there's a famous saying, it's easier to accept God's sovereignty over the entire world than over yourself. And the same thing, it's easy to run and donate money and help and all these things. How much will it take for a family to realize that their job is to stick together? Look at all these families that are losing loved ones. But look at the beauty of the fact, as horrible as that may sound, that there is pain and love in the fact that they're losing. How awful is it to live a life where you're not even sure if your supposed loved ones will even care if you go? I know I'm thousands of miles away from the war. I know I might sound like I'm complaining about nothing, but believe me, this is a big part of it. And if you don't see that a big part of this war is getting along, sinas chinam, baseless hatred, you want to have a problem? God will give you something to have a problem about. People have real issues in their life, real problems. You never, ever know what's going on in someone else's mind. You never know what pushes somebody to do something. But what you do know is that if you do something that hurts someone else's feelings, especially somebody who felt close to you at a certain point in your life, you're doing something wrong. And you can go throw water bottles and crackers and toiletries at all the Israeli soldiers you want. But if you don't take care of your family, not just the ones you feel like, the ones you've written off, the ones you don't even know, because life has continued on without you in their life and without them in your life. Okay, that's my fundraise. Everybody's fundraising for their government, for their cause, for this and that. This is me. Okay, there is too much hatred, too much animosity, too much alienation in the Jewish world. You want to do something right? Do something that's difficult. What's so hard about giving somebody money, about being sympathetic to somebody you don't have a true emotional connection with and you can only be sympathetic to? Be sympathetic to someone. It's a challenge. Then I'll give you credit. This is enough already. It's enough. What I see going on in the world, what people experience, the pain of loneliness, the pain of suffering, alienation, and love missing in their life that's there for the taking everywhere. Excuses. It is time to make a change. in your own life. Don't go out there running, saving the world. Save your world. Leave the rest to God. Don't worry, okay? Things have a way of working themselves out. The Israeli government has been there for decades, and they came from nothing, battling wars with forks and knives, grabbing a knife off the enemy, building, building, building. You think your $1,000 is going to change things? Your love for a fellow man, a fellow Jew, the closer, the more challenging for some. I don't know why. It's not in me. I've never had that challenge. I guess everybody's built differently. Think. Do the right thing where it's not comfortable.